This is Packers Nation HQ, and today I want to break down exactly what this moment means for Green Bay Packers as we start to see the early blueprint for a defensive reset that could quietly define the 2026 season and beyond. Before I go any further, if you're part of Packers Nation and you value real analysis over hot takes, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a comment below. This community thrives when Packers fans support each other, challenge each other, and keep the conversation rooted in what actually wins football games in Green Bay. What I see when I look at the 7-round mock draft isn't just a list of prospects, it's a philosophy. From my perspective, this is about understanding where the Packers truly are in their competitive cycle. There's no first-round pick in 2026, and that alone forces honesty. You don't get to hide behind blue-chip hype. You don't get the dopamine hit of a top 15 selection. Instead, you're forced to do what Green Bay has done for decades under the shadow of Lambeau Field. Trust your evaluations, trust your development, and trust volume over flash. The decision to trade down from the second round into the third, even when the value wasn't overwhelming, tells me this front office is leaning into a very Packer-specific truth. This franchise, the only community-owned team in professional sports, has always believed in giving itself more chances rather than swinging once and hoping. Lombardi didn't build a dynasty on one player. He built it on systems, depth, and belief. 13 world championships don't happen by accident. From my perspective, the heart of this mock draft is the cornerback room. Julian Neal and Thaddeus Dixon coming in the same draft is not redundancy, it's necessity. I don't think it gets talked about enough how exposed Green Bay has been on the perimeter in critical moments. Neal brings size, physicality, and a willingness to contest throws that feels built for cold weather football on the Frozen Tundra. At 6'2" and 200 pounds, he fits the prototype of a defender who doesn't panic when receivers want to bully him at the line. An anonymous NFC North scout I spoke with recently put it simply, saying, "Neal plays like he expects contact." That already puts him ahead of half the corners trying to survive this division. Dixon, on the other hand, represents the modern counter. Smaller, quicker, sticky in coverage, and fearless despite lacking ideal measurables. When you pair those two styles together, you're not just adding bodies, you're creating answers. Chicago wants to win with timing routes. Detroit wants space and speed. You don't beat both with one type of corner. You beat them with options. The defensive line additions tell an even deeper story. Albert Regis and Zane Duran are not flashy names, but they're disruptive in ways Green Bay desperately needs. Regis is about anchoring. He's about absorbing double teams and forcing offenses to declare their intentions early. After watching too many games where the Packers were gashed between the tackles, this feels corrective. Durant, undersized but explosive, is the kind of sixth-round bet that historically works here. He's not meant to be dominant snap after snap. He's meant to ruin one. And sometimes one ruin play is the difference between a punt and points. A Packers shareholder since the 1960s once told me, "Defense in Green Bay isn't about stars. It's about whether the other team hates playing you by the fourth quarter." That quote has stayed with me, and it echoes loudly when I look at this draft approach. Offensively, the selection of Carter Smith is pure Packers DNA. Developmental lineman, strong in the run game, intelligent in pass sets, and not finished as a product. With Rashid Walker nearing free agency, this is about protecting Jordan Love 2 years from now, not just next Sunday. And Jordan Love's progression is a silent engine behind all of this. From my perspective, Love's growth as a processor has changed how Green Bay can draft. When your quarterback shows command, you can invest elsewhere. Josh Jacobs' presence also changes the math. Adding Le'Veon Moss in the 5th round isn't about replacing Jacobs. It's about preserving him. Moss runs angry, decisive, and downhill. Yes, the injury history is real, and Green Bay will weigh that heavily after recent experiences, but schematically he fits. In a wide zone system that thrives on timing and vision, Moss gives you a hammer when finesse stalls. Jaden Reed's versatility then becomes even more dangerous. When defenses creep forward to stop the run, Reed punishes them from the slot, outside, or on motion concepts that Matt LaFleur layers into his illusion of complexity offense. Speaking of LaFleur, This draft aligns with how he wants to win games. Sustain drives, shorten contests, and strike when defenses lose discipline. Last season, Green Bay improved its red zone efficiency by nearly 9% after midseason adjustments. That's not coincidence. That's system growth. That's trust. The late-round quarterback pick Miller Moss might not excite casual fans, but from my perspective, it's smart insurance. If Malik Willis moves on, competition matters. Moss is experienced, calm, and accurate enough to function in structure. A Hall of Fame analyst I respect deeply, Pat McPherson, told me, Green Bay doesn't draft backups to be heroes. They draft them to keep the building standing. That's exactly what this feels like. R.J. Maryland and Eric Gentry round out the philosophy. Traits, versatility, special teams value. Maryland needs work as a blocker, but body control can be taught. Gentry's speed changes angles. In today's NFL, angles matter more than brute force. When I connect all of this back to Packers history, it makes sense. Bart Starr wasn't the strongest arm. Brett Favre wasn't the safest decision-maker. Reggie White wasn't just a pass rusher. He was culture. Green Bay has always won by aligning identity with patience. The Lambeau leap wasn't born from hype. It was born from belief. Looking ahead, I don't see this draft as a finished product. I see it as scaffolding. Pieces allow the Packers to adapt, to defend modern offenses, and to keep their championship window open as Jordan Love enters his prime. In my opinion, this is where things quietly change. Not loudly, not overnight, but steadily the Green Bay way. If you're watching this and wondering whether this kind of draft can really matter, remember this franchise has built legends without chasing trends. And as long as football is played in the cold, under the lights at Lambeau, with history pressing down on every snap, that approach will always have a place.